The numbers didn't make sense. I blinked hard, refreshed the browser, and stared at our joint savings account balance again. $238.47. Just yesterday, there had been $43,892. 3 years of careful saving, overtime shifts, and denied vacations. Money that was supposed to pay for my next round of IVF. My name is Cadence, and this was the moment my marriage began to die. "Kent?" I called out, my voice eerily steady despite the thundering in my chest. "Can you come here?" My husband appeared in the doorway of our home office, coffee mug in hand, wearing the relaxed smile of someone whose world hasn't just imploded. "What's up, babe?" "The money's gone." I turned the laptop screen toward him. "All of it." His face didn't register surprise. That's what broke me first, the complete lack of shock. Instead, he set his mug down and leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "I was going to tell you," he started, in that placating tone he usually reserved for difficult clients. Cassandra. The name hit like a slap. "You gave our IVF money to your sister." She was going to lose her apartment, and her brand partnerships needed... I cut him off with a laugh that sounded foreign to my own ears. Her brand partnerships? You mean her Instagram posts about manifesting abundance and living your best life? "Don't be cruel," Kent snapped. "She's building something real. You're just jealous because..." "Jealous?" I stood up so fast my chair rolled into the wall. "I worked 60-hour weeks for that money. We agreed it was for starting our family." "She is family." Kent's voice rose. "She deserves nice things too. You're being selfish." The word selfish echoed in our suddenly too small office. I felt my hands trembling as I pulled up our account history. "How long?" "What? How long have you been taking money out for her?" He shifted his weight, jaw tightening. "It doesn't matter. She needed help and I helped her. That's what family does." "Answer me." "About 8 months? Small amounts at first, then 8 months." I scrolled through transaction after transaction, each one a fresh betrayal. "While I was getting hormone shots and going to fertility appointments alone because you were too busy at work, you were funding your sister's fake luxury lifestyle with our baby money? It's not fake. And you're being dramatic. We can save up again. Get out." "What?" "Get out of this room right now," I said, my voice dropping to a whisper. "Before I say something we can't come back from." He stood there for a moment, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Then, incredibly, he had the audacity to look wounded. "You're not being fair. She's my little sister. Out!" The shout surprised us both. Kent backed away, hands raised in surrender, but his final words twisted the knife. "When you calm down, you'll understand. Family comes first." I waited until I heard him walk downstairs before opening my email. My fingers moved on autopilot, sending messages to my financial advisor, Ismael, and my best friend, Bridget. Then I began taking screenshots of every transaction, every withdrawal, every transfer to Cassandra's account. My phone buzzed, a notification from Instagram. Cassandra had just posted a story from some rooftop bar, champagne glass in hand, caption reading, "Blessed with the most supportive family, Daug's abundance, grateful, Daug luxury lifestyle." I stared at her perfectly filtered face, at the designer watch on her wrist, the same model I'd researched selling my grandmother's jewellery to help fund our IVF. Something cold and clear crystallized in my chest. That night, I lay beside Kent in our bed, listening to his peaceful breathing. He thought the storm had passed. He thought, like always, I would swallow my anger and play the understanding wife. He had no idea I'd spent the evening moving what little money remained into a new private account, or that I'd photographed every important document in our house. He didn't know that while he slept, I was already planting the seeds of consequences, because he was right about one thing. Family does come first, and I was done letting his destroy mine. I rolled over, watching shadows play across his face. He looked so innocent in sleep, this man who could steal my dreams and call me selfish in the same breath. My hand drifted to my still, flat stomach, empty of the baby we'd planned, but now full of something else, something sharp and patient and precise. They say karma comes after those who deserve it most, but sometimes karma needs a little help with her timing. I should have seen it coming, I told Bridget over coffee the next morning. Remember our wedding? You mean when Cassandra showed up in a white dress and threw a fit about not being in the photos? I stirred my latte, watching the foam swirl. Kent defended her then too, said she was going through a hard time and needed attention. Sweetie, Bridget leaned forward, her lawyer mode activated. How much do you actually know about where your money went? I have the transfers to her account, but no. She pulled out a notepad. I mean all of it. Joint accounts, credit cards, retirement funds. Have you checked everything? My stomach dropped. I hadn't. An hour later, I sat in Ismail's office, watching his face darken as he pulled up our financial records. This isn't good, Cadence, he said, turning his monitor. These withdrawals started small, a few hundred here and there. But look at the pattern. The screen showed a steady escalation. First hundreds, then thousands, always just below the threshold that would trigger automatic notifications. And this, he pointed to a series of transactions. These aren't just transfers to Cassandra. Some went to luxury retailers, high-end restaurants. That's impossible, I interrupted. Kent doesn't shop at those places. No, Ismail agreed quietly. But according to social media, his sister does. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Hey, it's Brooke. Kent's cousin? Can we meet? I remembered Brooke from family gatherings, the black sheep who'd stopped attending most events years ago. I'd always wondered why. We met at a quiet cafe across town. Brooke looked nothing like the Sullivan family, with her tech company casual wear and direct gaze. I saw Cassandra's latest post, she said without preamble, the one about her supportive family funding her dreams. Made me sick. You know something? She pulled out her laptop. I work in digital forensics. Last year I got curious about how my dear cousin afforded her lifestyle. Started digging. She turned the screen toward me. She's been using your company's name. My heart stopped. There on the screen was an email from Cassandra to a luxury brand, claiming to be represented by my marketing consultancy. There's more, Brooke continued. She's been name-dropping your LLC to score partnerships, free products, even event access, all while claiming you as her brand manager. That's identity theft, I whispered. Yeah, and fraud. Brooke's smile was grim. Want to see the receipts? Later that afternoon, I had my first panic attack in years. Sitting in my car outside our house, the house Kent and I had bought with such hope, I couldn't breathe. My phone kept lighting up with notifications. Cassandra posting about manifesting abundance while wearing clothes bought with my stolen dreams. I called Bridget. I need a lawyer, I said when she answered. A mean one. Already on it. Come over. Now. At Bridget's house, she introduced me to her colleague, Maria. For 2 hours, they outlined my options while I sat shell-shocked. Financial abuse is still abuse, Maria explained. We document everything, build the case quietly, and when we move fast. Kent will never forgive me, I said. Honey, Bridget took my hand. He stole your baby fund for his sister's Instagram career. Forgiveness isn't on the table. That night, I played my role perfectly. Made dinner, kissed Kent hello, asked about his day. He seemed relieved, probably thinking I'd calmed down as he'd predicted. Cassandra's coming for dinner tomorrow, he mentioned casually. She wants to apologize. I kept my voice neutral. That's nice. See? I knew you'd understand once you... My phone pinged. A message from Brooke. You should see what she's been buying under your name. Below it was a photo of Cassandra at a charity gala last week, wearing my grandmother's sapphire necklace, the one Kent had said was being cleaned at the jeweller's. Everything okay? Kent asked, noticing my expression. I looked at my husband, really looked at him, at the man who could steal my inheritance, fund his sister's lies with our future, and still sleep soundly beside me. Something cold and certain settled in my chest. Everything's perfect, I smiled. I can't wait to see Cassandra tomorrow. He beamed, missing the steel in my voice. But that's the thing about men like Kent. They mistake silence for submission, patience for weakness. They never see the blade until it's already falling. I went upstairs to plan tomorrow's dinner. After all, if Cassandra wanted to play happy families, I'd give her a performance she'd never forget. Cassandra arrived for dinner, wearing my money, designer dress, expensive highlights, and that trademark Instagram influencer smile that never quite reached her eyes. Cadence, she air-kissed my cheek. I feel terrible about everything. Kent explained it was all just a misunderstanding. I gestured to the dining room, where I'd set out our best china. Did he explain that part too? Her smile flickered. Behind her, Kent shifted uncomfortably. I made your favourite, I said sweetly. Salmon with that sauce you're always posting about. Though I'm sure it won't be as good as the ones you have at those 5-star restaurants. Cassandra laughed nervously. Oh, you follow my content? Religiously. I poured the wine. Especially loved your post last week about that charity gala. That sapphire necklace was stunning. Kent's glass froze halfway to his mouth. Cassandra's hand flew to her throat. Oh, she stammered. That old thing. I borrowed it from my grandmother, I finished for her. Funny, Kent told me it was at the jeweller's. The silence that followed was delicious. I can explain, Kent started. No need. I smiled, taking a sip of wine. I'm sure you had your reasons, just like you had reasons for letting Cassandra use my company's name to score free products. The colour drained from both their faces. How did you... Cassandra began. No? I set down my glass. Several brands contacted me today. Apparently, they're not happy about being defrauded. One mentioned possible legal action. Kent stood up so fast his chair scraped the floor. You're threatening my sister? Stating facts isn't threatening, Kent. But using someone's business credentials without permission? That's fraud. Cassandra burst into tears. The same performative sobs I'd seen in her Instagram stories about haters and jealous energy. I didn't mean to, she wailed. Kent said it was okay. He said you wouldn't mind. Did he also say it was okay to drain our IVF fund? That's enough. Kent slammed his hand on the table. You're being cruel. I looked at him calmly. Cruel is watching your wife inject herself with hormones while you secretly fund your sister's fake lifestyle. Cruel is stealing someone's family heirlooms. Cruel is... I said enough, he was shouting now. You don't understand what family means. Actually, I stood up. I understand perfectly, which is why I've already spoken to a lawyer. The room went silent except for Cassandra's hiccuping sobs. A lawyer? Kent's voice was dangerous. You'd do that to us? Us? I laughed. There is no us anymore, Kent. There's just you, your sister, and the mess you've made. You can't prove anything, Cassandra sniffed. Check your email, I suggested. Those brands I mentioned, they're very interested in the paper trail. Kent grabbed my arm. You need to fix this. I yanked free. No, you need to fix this, starting with returning my grandmother's necklace and every other piece of jewellery you've borrowed. Or what? Cassandra challenged, her tears mysteriously gone. My phone buzzed, right on cue. Or the police report I filed this morning becomes very relevant, I said, checking the message. Oh, and Cassandra, the Fashion Week committee just emailed. They're reviewing your credentials. She went pale. You wouldn't. I already did. I started clearing plates. You have 48 hours to return everything you took. After that, the fraud investigation goes public. This isn't you, Kent pleaded. You're not this vindictive. You're right, I agreed. The old me would have forgiven you, made excuses, tried to understand. I faced them both. But the old me died the moment you chose her Instagram career over our baby. Cassandra fled the house in tears. Real ones this time. Kent followed, shouting about family loyalty and forgiveness. I locked the door behind them and pulled out my phone. It's done, I texted Brooke. How'd they take it? About as well as expected. Ready for phase 2? Already on it. You should see what I found in their email exchanges. I poured myself another glass of wine and opened my laptop. While Kent and Cassandra were playing happy families, I'd been busy. New bank accounts, hidden cameras, documented evidence. Tomorrow, I had an appointment at a new fertility clinic, one that didn't know my name or history, one where I could start fresh, on my own terms. My phone lit up with Cassandra's latest post. Sometimes those closest to you carry the most poison, but we rise above. Blessed Ewanig unbothered. I smiled at the irony. She had no idea what poison really looked like, but she would. After all, I'd learned from the best. The first brand dropped Cassandra on a Tuesday. I was in a meeting when my phone buzzed with a notification. Luxury fashion house cuts ties with influencer over fraud allegations. By Wednesday, 3 more companies had pulled their partnerships. Cassandra's Instagram went into damage control mode. Don't believe the hate. Living authentically despite the negativity. Dies unbothered. Truth will prevail. Kent called 17 times. I let each one go to voicemail. You're ruining her life. His messages grew increasingly desperate. She had to cancel her Maldives brand trip. How could you be so heartless? I was reviewing contracts with Bridget when Larry, Kent's father, stormed into my office unannounced. What the hell do you think you're doing? He demanded. I didn't look up from my paperwork. Security will be here in 30 seconds. Make it quick. My daughter is devastated. She trusted you. Now I did look up. Your daughter stole from me. Your son helped her. Trust seems like an interesting word choice. She's building a career. She's building a house of cards, I corrected. With my money, my credentials, and my family's jewellery. Speaking of which, where's my grandmother's necklace? Larry's face reddened. This isn't about some necklace. You're right, I agreed, as security appeared in the doorway. It's about consequences, something your family seems allergic to. After they escorted him out, Bridget whistled low. That was ice cold. I'm impressed. I learned from Cassandra, I said, returning to the contracts. She always said authenticity was everything. My phone buzzed again, a text from Brooke. Check your email. Found something interesting in Kent's cloud backup. The emails were like dominoes falling. Kent promising Cassandra access to my retirement accounts. Cassandra planning to use my business credentials for a luxury resort campaign. Both of them discussing how to handle me if I discovered the truth. Keep her guilty, Cassandra had written. Say she's selfish for wanting a baby when family needs help. Works every time. I forwarded everything to Maria, my lawyer. Then I opened Instagram and watched Cassandra's latest story, her tearfully explaining how haters were trying to destroy her dreams. The comments were turning against her. Didn't she claim to be a marketing executive? Anyone else notice she deleted all posts about that charity gala? Pretty sure that watch she's wearing belongs to her sister-in-law. Kent ambushed me in the parking lot that evening. Please, he begged, blocking my car door. Just talk to me. We can fix this. Move. Cassandra's having panic attacks. Her sponsors are investigating her. Dad's furious. Sounds like a family problem, I said coldly. Isn't that what you're all about? I know I messed up. Messed up? I laughed. You stole our future. You watched me cry over failed IVF treatments while funding your sister's fake lifestyle. You let her wear my dead grandmother's jewellery in Instagram posts. She'll give it back. She promised. Like she promised to pay you back? Like you promised to protect our savings? He grabbed my arm. You're my wife. Not for long. I yanked free. Check your email. My lawyer sent something an hour ago. His phone was out instantly. I watched his face crumble as he read the separation papers. You can't. I already did. I opened my car door. Oh, and Kent? Tell Cassandra to enjoy her last few sponsored posts. The brands have seen the proof of fraud. Her career ends this week. You vindictive bitch, he shouted as I drove away. At home, I poured a glass of wine and opened my laptop. Brooke had sent more screenshots, this time of Cassandra's frantic messages to her remaining sponsors, trying to explain away the mounting evidence. My phone lit up with a notification. Cassandra was going live on Instagram. My loves, she sniffled to her viewers. I need to be real with you. Someone close to me, someone I trusted, is trying to destroy everything I've built. But we don't let negativity win. We rise above. The comments scrolled fast. Where's the necklace, sis? Fraud check. Didn't you claim to own that marketing company? I closed the app and opened my email instead. 3 more brands had contacted me, requesting documentation of Cassandra's fraudulent claims. I sent them everything. A text from Bridget popped up. You okay? Never better, I replied honestly, because here's the thing about influence. It's built on trust. Once that breaks, no amount of filtered photos or inspirational captions can fix it. Cassandra was about to learn that lesson the hard way, And Kent? He was about to learn something too. Karma doesn't need filters to look beautiful. She shows up exactly as she is, wearing stolen jewelry and carrying receipts. The tech firm Brooke recommended worked fast. Within days, they'd recovered every deleted message between Kent and Cassandra. Reading them felt like watching a car crash in slow motion. "She's getting suspicious," Kent had written 3 months ago. "But I told her the IVF clinic increased their prices. She bought it." Cassandra's response: "You're so good at handling her. BTW, can you transfer another 5K? Fashion Week is coming up." I forwarded everything to Maria, then started packing. Not everything, just the essentials. My personal documents, family photos from before Kent, the few pieces of jewelry Cassandra hadn't borrowed. "You're doing what?" Bridget asked when I called. "Moving out. Today, while he's at work." "Without warning him? Like you warned me about emptying our accounts?" She was silent for a moment. "Need help?" 2 hours later, Bridget's SUV was parked in our driveway. We worked efficiently, boxing up only what was undeniably mine. I left Kent's favourite coffee mug in the sink, his laundry half folded on the bed. Let him see how it feels to come home to emptiness. My phone buzzed continuously. Notifications from Cassandra's increasingly frantic social media posts. "My account was hacked," she claimed in all caps. "Someone is spreading lies about me. Swipe up for the truth." "Her sponsors aren't buying it," Brooke texted. 3 more dropped her this morning. "Should I send the tax fraud evidence to the journalist?" "Not yet," I replied. "Wait for my signal." I was closing the trunk when Kent's father pulled up, tires screeching. "You ungrateful little—" he started. "Larry," Bridget stepped between us. "I'm an attorney. Choose your next words carefully." He jabbed a finger at me. "You're destroying this family." "No," I said calmly. "I'm just exposing what it really is. Cassandra is being investigated. Her whole career was built on fraud," I finished. "Using my company's credentials, my money, my identity. Did she tell you that part? She's young, she made mistakes. Then she can face the consequences like an adult." His face turned purple. "Kent should never have married you." "On that," I smiled, "we finally agree." Back in my car, I watched him storm into the house, probably to discover half-empty closets and a legal separation notice on the kitchen counter. My phone rang. "Kent." "Where are you?" he demanded. "Dad says, check the kitchen counter." Silence. Then, "What did you do?" "What you taught me to do," I said. "Put family first." I hung up as he started shouting. The apartment Bridget helped me find was small but bright. No designer furniture or Instagram-worthy decor, just clean, empty space to start over. "You sure about this?" Bridget asked, setting down the last box. Before I could answer, my phone exploded with notifications. Cassandra had gone live again, but this time she was crying real tears. "They're investigating my taxes," she sobbed to her dwindling followers. "Someone sent them proof of things. I could lose everything." Comments flooded in. "Didn't you claim all those luxury goods as business expenses? Using someone else's company for tax write-offs is illegal." "Where's that necklace you said was yours?" Kent called again, and again, and again. Finally I answered. "How could you?" he hissed. "The IRS is looking at her accounts." "Actions have consequences, Kent, even for Cassandra. She's having a breakdown. She could go to jail." "Should have thought about that before committing fraud." "Please," his voice cracked. "Tell me what you want. I'll do anything." I looked around my new apartment, empty of his lies, free from their manipulation. "I want my grandmother's necklace back. I want every penny you stole returned. I want Cassandra to admit publicly what she did. And I want you to sign the divorce papers." "Or what?" "Or the journalist who's been investigating influencer fraud gets an anonymous tip, with proof." He was quiet for a long moment. "You've changed." "No," I said softly. "I just stopped believing your version of who I was." After hanging up, I opened my laptop and typed out an email to the fertility clinic. My fertility clinic now, not ours. The appointment was set for next week. My phone lit up with a text from Brooke. "Ready for the final blow?" I looked at Cassandra's tearful live stream, still playing on my phone. At Kent's dozen missed calls, at Larry's angry messages. "Not yet," I replied. Let them sweat a little longer. The best revenge isn't served hot or cold. What's it served as then? I smiled, thinking of all the evidence still waiting to be revealed. Karma, I typed. It served as karma. Kent showed up at my office on a Monday morning, unshaven and wild-eyed. My assistant tried to stop him, but he pushed past her. "You have to stop this," he shouted, drawing stares from my co-workers. "Cassandra's being audited. The brands are suing her." I kept typing, not looking up. "Sandra, call security, please." "Damn it, Cadence, look at me." "Why?" I finally met his gaze. "You didn't look at me when you were draining our accounts." "I'll pay it back, all of it." "With what money?" I asked quietly. "The money you forged my signature to borrow?" His face went slack. "How did you—" "Brooke found everything, Kent. The loan applications, the forged documents, even those lovely messages where you promised Cassandra access to my retirement fund next." Security arrived, but Kent barely noticed them. "She's your sister too?" "No." I stood up slowly. "She's the person who wore my dead grandmother's jewellery in sponsored posts, who used my company's name to commit fraud, who laughed about manipulating me while spending my IVF money." "Please," he whispered. "I'll fix it." "You can't fix karma, Kent." As security led him out, my phone buzzed. A message from Cassandra. "Can we meet? Please? I can explain everything." I forwarded the message to Maria without responding. An hour later, Brooke called. "You need to see this. Cassandra's going nuclear." I pulled up Instagram. Cassandra was live, mascara running, looking nothing like her usual filtered self. "It's all lies," she sobbed. "My sister-in-law is jealous. She's trying to ruin me because she can't have a baby. The live feed cut off abruptly. "What happened?" I asked Brooke. "The fashion brand's lawyers happened. They just served her with cease and desist orders. She can't discuss the fraud investigation publicly." My phone lit up again. "Larry." "Your vendetta is destroying this family," he barked before I could speak. "No, your enabling destroyed this family." "How long have you known about the fraud, Larry?" Silence. "That's what I thought." I hung up. By afternoon, the story had hit several influencer watchdog accounts. Screenshots of Cassandra's fake credentials circulated. Her follow account plummeted. "Kent's at the house," Bridget texted. "Drinking and making threats. Want me to call the police?" "No need," I replied. "The restraining order goes into effect tomorrow." "You're really doing this." "They did this," I corrected. "I'm just letting consequences do their job." My office door opened. Maria, holding a thick folder. "The forensic accountant's report," she said, dropping it on my desk. "It's worse than we thought. Kent didn't just forge your signature for loans. He used your identity to open credit cards, take out cash advances." I flipped through pages of evidence. "How much?" "Over $100,000, all traceable to Cassandra's accounts." My hands shook slightly. "Criminal charges? If you want to pursue them? Absolutely." My phone buzzed again. Cassandra had texted a photo of my grandmother's necklace. "Please," she wrote, "I'll return everything. Just make it stop." Before I could respond, another message appeared. "He promised me you knew. Please, you can fix this." I stared at the necklace, the last gift my grandmother gave me before she died, the one Cassandra had worn while promoting luxury brands and manifesting abundance. "What do you want to do?" Maria asked quietly. I thought about Kent showing up at my office, demanding I fix his mess, about Cassandra crying on Instagram while wearing stolen jewellery, about Larry's years of enabling their toxic dynamic. "Send everything to the DA," I said. "All of it. They'll both face charges." "Good." Maria nodded, gathering the files. "For what it's worth, they deserve this." After she left, I opened my laptop and typed out a simple message to Cassandra. "You're right. I can fix this, by letting you both face exactly what you've earned." Her response came instantly. "You can't do this. We're family." I thought of my empty apartment, my drained accounts, my stolen dreams of motherhood. "No," I wrote back. "We're not. We never were." Then I blocked her number, opened my email, and confirmed my appointment at the new fertility clinic. Because here's the thing about family. Real ones don't steal your dreams. They don't wear your grief like accessories. And they definitely don't cry about consequences they earned themselves. Sometimes the best family is the one you build from the ashes of the one that burned you. And I was ready to start building. The courthouse was quieter than I expected. Kent and Cassandra sat on one side with their lawyer, both looking shell-shocked. Larry wasn't there. He'd had a convenient business emergency the morning criminal charges were filed. "All rise," the bailiff called. I watched them stand, these people who'd once been my family. Cassandra had traded her designer clothes for a modest blue suit that screamed, "Responsible defendant." Kent couldn't stop fidgeting with his tie. The evidence took hours to present. Each revelation hit like a hammer. Forged loan documents, stolen identity, tax fraud, wire fraud, multiple counts of financial abuse. Kent's lawyer tried arguing it was all a misunderstanding between family members. The prosecutor simply played Cassandra's Instagram videos, dozens of them, showing her flaunting stolen jewelry while giving abundance mindset advice. "Your Honor," the prosecutor said, "the defendants didn't just steal money. They weaponized the victim's identity, her business credentials, and even her family heirlooms to create a fraudulent online persona." Cassandra burst into tears. Real ones this time, not the perfectly filmed kind. During a break, Brooke touched my arm. "You okay?" I nodded, watching Kent pace the hallway. "Just ready for it to be over." "Did you see?" she whispered. "Someone leaked their messages to that influencer watchdog site. Cassandra's whole empire is imploding." My phone buzzed. A text from my fertility clinic. "Embryo preservation successful. Schedule follow-up?" A small smile crossed my face as I replied, "Yes." Back in court, Kent finally broke. "It wasn't supposed to go this far," he shouted, ignoring his lawyer's attempts to quiet him. "Cassandra needed help. She said she'd pay it back." The judge peered over her glasses. "Mr. Sullivan, are you admitting to knowingly committing fraud?" He looked at Cassandra, then at me. "I just wanted to help my sister." "By stealing from your wife? You don't understand. Family's everything." "Your Honor," I stood up, my voice steady. "May I speak?" She nodded. "Kent keeps talking about family," I said. "But real family doesn't steal your dreams. They don't forge your signature or wear your dead grandmother's jewelry in sponsored posts. They don't laugh about manipulating you while spending money meant for IVF treatments." Cassandra made a choked sound. "I'm not asking for revenge," I continued. "I'm asking for justice, for consequences, because without those, they'll never stop believing they're entitled to take whatever they want." The judge's verdict was clear, guilty on all counts. Kent faced 18 months in prison. Cassandra got 12 months plus restitution. Both would have felony records. "You ruined us," Kent screamed as they led him away. "How could you do this?" I walked closer, looking him in the eye one last time. "No, you never were us. You were just two parasites sucking the life out of my future." Outside the courthouse, reporters waited. Cassandra's fall from influencer fame had become minor news in the social media world. "Ms. Sullivan," they called. "Any comment on the verdict?" I kept walking, Brooke and Bridget flanking me. Back at my apartment, I opened my laptop to find my inbox flooded. Former fans of Cassandra's, other influencers, even brands wanting statements about the fraud. Instead of responding, I opened a new document and began typing. "My journey to single motherhood after financial abuse." "What's that?" Bridget asked, reading over my shoulder. "My story, the real one. No filters, no manifesting, no fake abundance, just truth." My phone buzzed. "Larry." "You've destroyed my children's lives," he spat. "I hope you're happy." "No, Larry. You destroyed them by teaching them actions don't have consequences. I just proved that lesson wrong." After hanging up, I touched my stomach gently. The fertility treatments were progressing well. Soon I'd have the family I always wanted, one built on truth, not lies. Brooke sent a final text. "Cassandra's last post just went viral. You should see it." I pulled it up, a tearful confession, admitting everything. The fraud, the theft, the manipulation, her carefully curated life crumbling in real time. "I'm sorry," she'd written. "To everyone I deceived, especially to Cadence. You deserved better than what we did to you. Too little, too late, but somehow It felt like closure. I closed my laptop and walked to the window. Outside, the city sparkled with possibility. My new life waited, one without their chaos, their lies, their toxic version of family. They say revenge is best served cold, but this wasn't revenge. This was karma, finally arriving with receipts in hand. And she was right on time. The moving truck pulled away from my old house, leaving an empty driveway and a sold sign swaying in the breeze. I had gotten well above asking price. Apparently, scandal-adjacent real estate was trending. "Ready?" Brooke asked, holding a box of files. "Almost." I walked through each room one last time, making sure nothing remained of the life I'd built with Kent. The walls were bare, the closets empty, every trace of our marriage packed away or sold. My phone buzzed. A message from the prison's family liaison office. Kent wanted to talk. Again. Delete. "Got something for you," Brooke said when I returned to the car. She handed me a USB drive. "There's more evidence on here. Financial records, messages, everything. But you don't need it anymore." "Why not?" "Because you already won." She smiled. "And this? This is just insurance." At my new apartment, Bridget waited with takeout and news. "Cassandra's working at a mall kiosk," she reported, opening containers, selling phone cases to actual customers instead of pretending to buy luxury ones on Instagram. "How the mighty fall," I murmured. "Oh, and Larry's company is under investigation for tax irregularities. Apparently, someone anonymous tipped off the IRS." I raised an eyebrow at Brooke, who shrugged innocently. My laptop chimed. Another message from my fertility blog. The readership had exploded after I started sharing my story of financial abuse and recovery. Women worldwide related to being manipulated by toxic family dynamics. "Speaking of stories," Bridget nodded at my phone. "Seen the latest?" I pulled up the influencer watchdog account. Someone had compiled a timeline of Cassandra's fraud, including screenshots of her wearing my jewelry while preaching about authentic living. The comments were brutal. "Karma is an influencer. From manifesting abundance to manifesting prison time. Hope that stolen necklace was worth it." A knock at the door interrupted us. A courier held out a small package. Inside was my grandmother's necklace, along with a handwritten note from Cassandra. "I know it's too late for sorry, but at least I can return what was never mine to take." The sapphires caught the light, unchanged by their journey through social media fame and criminal evidence. "You going to wear it?" Brooke asked. "No." I placed it carefully in my jewelry box. "I'm saving it for someone else." My phone lit up with a calendar reminder. Fertility clinic appointment tomorrow. "Need company?" Bridget offered. Actually, yes. Later that night, after they'd left, I sat on my balcony watching the city lights. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Larry. Kent's asking for you. Says he's changed. That he understands now." I typed back, "Silence doesn't mean forgiveness. It just means I'm done listening." Block. Inside, I opened my laptop and continued writing my blog post. The price of toxic family loyalty. The comments poured in immediately. "You helped me recognize my own family's manipulation. Finally left my financially abusive marriage because of your story. Thank you for showing us that karma is real." My doorbell rang. Another delivery. This time, a thick envelope from Maria. Inside were the final divorce papers, signed and filed. Official freedom. I walked to my bedroom mirror, the only piece of furniture I'd kept from my old life. It had witnessed my tears, my rage, my transformation. Now it reflected someone stronger. Someone who'd learned that sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's simply letting consequences do their work. My phone chimed one last time. The fertility clinic confirming tomorrow's appointment. I touched my stomach gently, imagining the future growing there. A family built on truth, not manipulation. On love, not obligation. Brooke texted, "You really don't want to see what's on that USB?" "No," I replied. "Some things are better left in the past." "Like Kent, Cassandra, Larry?" "Like all of it," I smiled. "I'm done living in their story." Because that's the thing about karma. She doesn't need your help once she gets started. She just needs you to step aside and let her work. I closed my laptop, silencing the notifications from Kent's family, the influencer drama, the ongoing fallout. Tomorrow would bring new chapters. Fertility treatments, my growing blog community, maybe even actual abundance, the kind built on honest work and real connections. But tonight I sat in my peaceful apartment, surrounded by the life I'd rebuilt from their ashes, and felt nothing but free. They say the best revenge is living well. They're wrong. The best revenge is living truthfully and letting karma handle the rest.